Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is my channel Ladybug Stitches. Today is June 6th and this is Flosstube number 31. It has been 3 weeks since my last video, so I do have quite a lot to share today, but I'm trying to not make it so long of a video because it is 85 degrees out today. All of a sudden we went from wearing long sleeve shirts and pants to tank tops and sweating our butts off. So I have no fans on today and I am already sweating. So I'm gonna try to make this video as quick as I can, but I'm sure if you can look down at the timer on it and see that it's probably gonna be a long video anyway. So I am going to start with a previous finish. I put all of my summer and strawberry and watermelon and 4th of July pieces out. They're all in one big display, and I have another display over there. I'm going to try to see if I can add a video in at the end. Everything is really mixed together right now because I don't really have enough in each category to separate everything. I would love to have just a 4th of July display and just like a gardening display, and I have an under the sea kind of display over there. You'll see it at the end. So I would love to have displays just for each of those different categories, but for now, while I just have a couple things for each category, it is all pushed together in one, as you can see behind me. So anyway, so I did put everything out and I pulled this piece out. I don't think I've shown it before. It is Knee High by Hands On Design. I stitched this in 2019 and 2020. And I'm showing this one because it broke. And I'm just overall not happy with my finish on it. This was such a special piece for me at the time because it was like one of the first pieces that I ever did with, I think these are the, see, it's broken. This is one of the first pieces, I'll just hold it like this, that I did with the Called for Colors, I believe. And is also one of the first pieces I did not on Ada, so I'm pretty sure this is a 28 count. If you're really interested in the fabric, I do have it written down somewhere, and I think I still have the fabric. So if you are interested, let me know, but I pulled my own fabric for that one. Like, I picked it out and everything, specific for this pattern, and it is all crooked. It's only taped on the back because I knew this was not how I wanted to fully finish it, but I just have not been inspired to figure out a really good finish for this one. So for now, it's just on this chalkboard, and I had drawn corn stalks in chalk on the sides, but they are coming off now. And the magnet came off the back, or the washer came off the back, so I have to fix this one. I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out a way to fully finish this differently this time while I'm fixing it anyway. But if I can't figure anything out for now, it is just gonna go back on this board, and at some later date, I will figure something better out for this piece. But I really do love this piece. This is a saying that my grandfather had a lot, because he always grew corn for his cows. So we had a cornfield behind, oops, sorry if I touched the table. We had a cornfield behind my house my entire life. I remember riding the tractor with my grandpa as he worked the fields. So we always went, it must be 4th of July because it's almost knee high, and so this was a good saying for me to stitch. And as soon as I saw this pattern, I immediately fell in love and I had to get it. So I really do love this piece, and I want to finish it and do it justice, but I'm just not really sure what I want to do yet. I should probably look on Instagram and see if anybody else has finished this and see how everybody else has done it. But so pretty. I love this piece so much. Okay, so that is my previous finish. I'm gonna put it over there because I have a mess. Okay, I have some new releases. I have 3 new releases that are available to shops, and then I have 2 freebie releases as well. So I'm gonna start with the shop releases. Let's see if I can get everything stuck together. Okay, I have the patterns for this one this time. We're gonna start with my new small cube. This is called Bees. So there is the physical pattern. If you do purchase from a shop, this is what you will get. Obviously, your pattern will not be as wrinkled as mine because I keep all the wrinkly bags for myself. So this is my new bee cube. On the top it says Busy Bees, and then we have a beehive, we have buzz, honeycomb, and some bees in flowers. I really love this one. This is on they're all on 14 count. I Ada that I coffee tea dyed. This one is coffee tea dyed. It really does not have a lot of flosses, and there's just so many different bees tucked in here, and I love them so much. So I will have to find room in my display behind me for this one. I have so many small cubes for the summertime, and it's getting a little bit full, but I love them all so much. So this one is, all of these patterns are available in my Etsy shop right now as PDF, and they are also all available to shops for purchase as well. So if you're interested in getting a paper pattern of these, you can contact your LNS and they can get it for you. So that is bees. And then we have, if you all remember my All Piled Up series, which is my monthly series, where it is a small little motif that is repeated and changed a little bit throughout the whole piece. And I finished this series last year. I have one for every single month. And then this year I knew I had to add a couple more because I had so many more ideas that I wanted to do. So these are called switchables. Instead of the month, it is a switchable. And you can change these out for any month that you want to. This one is designed for the summer months, but of course, if it works better for another month, go for it. It is called Fishies. And here it is. Oh, I love the little fishies. They're so cute. I really, really wanted to do a fish pattern. I love fish. I love under the sea and all that kind of stuff. So I thought this one was super, super cute to do. There are only 2 different size fish, but there are 3 different colors, and there's a little bit of seaweed growing at the bottom. And then up here I have a double bow with a little fish button as well. And I did add a black border fabric around the back because I did not have any other fabrics that matched. But I think it looks super cute. So this is called Switchables Fishies, and it is part of the All Piled Up series. So this one is available as well. And then my last release is called Queen Bee, and it is my first monochromatic piece. And I had so much fun designing this piece. I think it turned out so good. And I love it. I love it. This is on a black 14 count. I forgot the Fishies one is also on a 14 count. It is just a blue. But this one is on a black Ada 14 count. It is used a variegated floss. It is a Weeks Dye Works 2221 gold. So it is quite variegated. It's kind of hard to tell in the video right now, but it is quite variegated. And then I just added a little flower and then a little knot of twine up the top. And then I finished this one on a book. So I was trying to find a couple different options that I have for finishing. Michael's kind of let me down. They didn't really have any good finishing pieces for summer. For bee themed kind of stuff. So I found this book that I had. I have a whole bunch of books that are old and would otherwise get thrown out. So please don't come at me for ruining a book. This is not a good book. It is an older book. It's from 1980. It's not a good book. It was going to get thrown out anyway. So I am repurposing it. I'm giving it a little bit extra life. So I did not glue the pages together. I had thought about it, but I wanted to be able to stand it up. And it's just literally pasted onto the front of the book, but I really love this piece. It is so pretty. I love the way it turned out, and I'm really happy with it. So this is Queen Bee, and those are all of my new releases. Let me try to make some room. Okay, and that is number 49. So I am almost at 50 patterns released in total, which is kind of crazy. My next release will be probably in July or August, and it is a fall themed piece. So my number 50 is going to be a fall themed. It's so interesting how I ended up there. Okay, and now I have some free patterns. If you go to my blog, which is always listed down below, I have a whole bunch of free patterns there. All I ask is that if you share them, please tag me and go ham, stitch as many as you want. I do have this little series, I guess, of like little simple words for each holiday, season, whatever. I've done one for every holiday, I believe. I don't know if it's getting dark or not, but it is. There's a cloud out there right now. I can't tell if it gets dark on camera or not, but it is in person, definitely darker. You can see one here. This is stripes. So for 4th of July, I did stripes and stars. Stars is right there. So this time I did freedom. There is a couple different ones for each holidays. There's Christmas, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter. I think there's Easter ones, 4th of July, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So I would like to add a couple more. I have a couple more I'm going to do this year, but this is just freedom. You can use any floss that you want with these, any kind of fabric. They're just really small and they stitch up super, super quick. I just added a little flag background, florally flag background to the back. I might add a cording to the top. That's what I put on all the other ones, but I just did not feel like it at the time, but I might go back and add that as well. This one is on my blog already. You can go check it out. I will link it down below. But yeah, so that's freedom. Let me get a drink. Okay. And then this next one currently is not on my blog, but by the time you are watching this, it will be posted. I'm gonna finish this video and then go post it right now. So this is a piece that I designed last year and was really hoping I would have gotten it out last year, but I just did not have time. This is another sentimental piece, and I will explain when I show it. Yeah, I'll just show it. So this is called Lightning Bugs. These are all the lightning bugs here, and then they're in the night sky, and then they're all in the cornfield. So for this finish, I'll just talk briefly about that. It is just on a wooden box, and if you see all those little dots, that is glow-in-the-dark paint. I had the thought to maybe put some glow-in-the-dark paint on here, so it's kind of like the box is also all the lightning bugs. And then I added a little ribbon to each side, a little black ribbon just to add a little extra. And I like how it turned out. So, and then in the pattern for the lightning bugs, that little dot there, that is also a glow-in-the-dark floss. So I haven't seen it glow in the dark yet because I've had it put it away until I could show you guys, but I'm really excited to see how it looks with the glow-in-the-darks. So the background on this piece, I was coming home one night and I was driving past one of the local farmers near me, and they have a whole bunch of fields right in a row, so it's a nice big flat area. And it was summertime, and it was like 9 o'clock at night, and it was like one of those perfect summer nights, you know. And I looked out into the fields and there was a whole bunch of lightning bugs out there. And it just reminded me of when I was younger, growing up, I lived next to my cousin's house. So at night in the summertime, we would go outside and we would hang out, and we would go into the cornfield behind her house, and we would catch a whole bunch of lightning bugs, and we would hold them on our hands. And we said if they stayed on our hands for a long time, then they were our friends and they were meant to be with us. Sometimes they flew away, sometimes they stayed for a long time, and we just hung out and we talked, and it was just a really fun time. And I really do miss catching lightning bugs with my cousins, and my brothers too, they were there. But that's just a good memory. I like stitching all of my good memories from my childhood and everything, so this is another one of those. So this is a free pattern, and it is on my blog right now for you. If you're interested, if you want to stitch it and you want to post it, just tag me so I can see. I love seeing all the finished projects that you guys have of mine. But yeah, I'm super happy. I just have to find somewhere to stick this in here. I have like no room. I might have to put it downstairs in my living room, but this is a super sentimental piece to me, and I'm so happy I finally got to finish it. I started stitching it last year, and I had to put it away for the fall and the winter time, and I'm just glad I finally get to get it out. So super happy about this one. Okay, so those are all of my new releases and freebie releases. Let's see. I do have some finishes. I joined Just One for June, the hashtag that B and E Stitchery, Emma and Brandy are doing. Basically, you just work on one project in June until you finish it, and you can't really work on any other projects until that project is done. It is meant to get all of those projects done that are just like at 90% or 80% or whatever, just to get them done and off your WIP list. I have quite a lot of those projects, so I thought this was a perfect hashtag for me. And I have finished, I think, 3 projects already. I started a little bit early, maybe like a week, the last week in May, I think I started, but I was really excited and I really wanted to get some things done. So if you follow me on Instagram, you can see in real time all the ones that I have been finishing. I've been trying to keep up with there. I'm not really good at doing Instagram. I just get bored with it. So I don't check it very often, and I just don't post as often as I probably should, but I'm trying to be better about it. But I'm trying to post all of my finishes as I finish them. So if you were on there and you saw them, then you already know. But I finished, what did I finish first? Oh, okay. I finished this one first. I just have a pile here, so I'm trying to get my mind straight. This is a series. It is Cuore, Batticuore's Say Personaggi and Cerca di Halloween. I was working on the first one here, this witch, and I only got the one done, but that was my goal, is to get the first one done. I had started this last year for Mania, and I thought, just start them and then you can get them done as you go. You can't get them done if you don't start them, right? So I finished the first one, and this one is like heavily modified. Here is what she looks like. It is stitched on a orange fabric that I think I tried to wash some dye out of or something. I'm not really sure what happened there. It was an attempt at something, and I'm not really sure what it was. But I kitted this pattern up with all of the fabric a couple years ago, and it has been sitting. So it's really nice to finally get some of these done. So if you see on here, I did not do the background border. I did not do the border, and I did not do all these like frilly bits coming out of the beaker. Might be a beaker, I'm not sure. I didn't do all those little frilly bits. So this is the first pattern I've done by Cuore Batticuore, and I'm not a fan of their back stitching. I'm not bashing them at all. I'm just not a fan of the way they do their back stitching. So I didn't feel like figuring it all out myself. So I just did not do all of that. And then I kind of just did whatever I wanted with the broom. And then I did add the spider as well. But I also changed her skin color because it blended right into my fabric. And then because her skin color was a different color, I had to change the broom as well. But I think the broom stands out a lot better that way. And then I also did not add the little heart at the top of the hat, just right up here. So that's what she's looking like now. Otherwise, everything is called for in regards to the floss. The fabric is, of course, different. But my thought is I wanted to do these as stand-ups, and without everything else, it kind of works better as a stand-up as well. So like if I added all the little frilly bits, it would have made it a little bit bigger, and I was not interested in that. So this will be a stand-up, and then I will have them all being stand-ups probably. I think that would look really cute with a little display of all these little stand-ups. So that was my first finish. So exciting. I'm not going to wait until I finish all of them to finish this one. This one is going into my basket to be finished as soon as I can possibly get it finished. Okay, so that was the first one because I knew I was pretty close and I really wanted to get it done. Not really sure which one I'm going to start on next, but I think this is going to go in my basket for a while and I don't feel like starting the next one anytime soon. So yeah, at least I got one done for now. I'm just stacking everything over there. So I finished that one first, and then I finished Scatter Freedom and Peace, or Scatter Freedom by Shepherd's Bush. This is part of a series as well, and I have done the Valentine's one and the Easter one. I don't think I've done any more, but I could be wrong on that one. I finished them into a wooden little box and I switch it out for the different seasons and holidays. I would like to do the whole series. I have the Halloween one, but there are a couple others that I don't have yet, so I'm gonna have to pick these up at some point. But here is my finish. I did not do the call for colors and I did not do the call for fabric. This is on a 14 count blue Aida, and I just pulled whatever flosses that I had. And it also has a whole bunch of buttons in the pattern, but the buttons didn't come with the pattern and I didn't feel like buying them. So I just left some things out. There's supposed to be a button right here, but I think I'm gonna try to put a white star. I have a whole bunch of stars buttons that I'm gonna try to see if I can fit in there. Other than that, I left everything else off. So, but I think it turned out really good. I'm gonna finish it into the little box that I have, and hopefully I can get it out for this year. But if I don't have the time, I always have it for next year. But I was super close on this one as well. Like, all I had left was at least since I last saw you, I worked on it and then I put it away for a while, and then I knew about this stitch along and then I pulled it back out. So I finished And Peace. I added all these big stars. I did Scatter and like everything over here except for the border up at the top. And I finished the M and the Uncle Sam. And that was about it. I guess it was probably more than 50%, but it really was not a lot of stitching, and it didn't take a lot of time. I think maybe once I picked it back up again, it was like one day of stitching, and that was about it. So happy to have that one done as well. It's another whip off my whip list, which is the goal. I'm trying to get so many things off of my whip list at this point. Like I said, it is really hot out. Okay, and then my last finish is Sweetling Studio Miss July. I started this one this year, and I only redo my whip list after I've done a whip parade, and so this one never even made it onto the whip list. It's like it didn't even exist, right? So this is my finish. I kind of also modified this one as well. This was my first time stitching on 32 count. This is a 32 count light blue Lugana from Witchold. I did one strand because I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be one strand or two strands, so I did one strand. I pulled my own flosses, and some of them were variegated, some of them were not. I think most of them actually were variegated, now that I think about it. And then I did not add her face because I'm not the best at French knots, and I just didn't think it would look the best. So I kept it off, and then I also just didn't add the little yellow dot at the top of the flag. Purely laziness on that point. I just did not feel like cutting the strand and bringing it over just for one stitch, so I just did not add that. So my plan with this one is to finish it onto this box. It should fit, just barely. This is just a little star box that somebody had given my mom, and she didn't want it, so I'm repurposing it. I'm gonna finish it into a circle and then just put it on there. And then this also kind of leads a little bit into a plan. I'll just talk about it now since I'm already talking about it. If you signed up for Primrose Cottage's newsletter, maybe, I think it's might be their newsletter. They send out a free stitch every Thursday of the month, every first Thursday of the month. So it's one a month. This one is the one for this month. It is called 4th of July Round. And I had literally just finished Miss July, and I was like, I had this other box, I have a red one as well, and I'm like, I really want to find something to go on to here, and it's going to be kind of hard to find something because it has to be 4th of July themed, and it has to be round, and it has to be small, and then this came in my email box the next day, and I'm like, oh, that's perfect. It's round, it's a little bit big, so I'm gonna have to try to do some measurements and get it small. It would be nice if I could also stitch it on this fabric. I might have to stitch it over one just to make it fit, but I will figure it out when I get to that point. I think I want to try to start this project as soon as I possibly can, as soon as I can kit it up and everything, because I would like to get this one done for this year if I could, because I want to finish them both at the same time, because then I don't have to figure it out 2 times in a row. That's my thought, at least. So if I could kit this one up as soon as I possibly can, then I'm gonna start it. So that is part of my plans and all of my finishes. Okay, I do have another new start. I know I said I didn't want to do any new starts. I'm trying to get my whip list down, but this isn't cross stitch, and it has been sitting in a basket for way too long. And it's the same thought that I had with Whip Mania last year. I want to stitch it, but if I don't ever start it, it's never going to get stitched. So I might as well start it, and then I can see how long it takes to finish it. No rush, but also with me, there always is kind of a rush. I always want to get things done. I don't like things lingering for too long, but that's a later me problem, and I'm not going to deal with that problem right now. And plus I did get a whole bunch of whips off of my whip list, which is super exciting. Also, people are doing mid-year whip parades, and they're planning for them. I was thinking about maybe doing a mid-year whip parade as well, because then I can do a new whip list and then I can see where I'm at. I feel like I finished a whole bunch of projects, but I also feel like I have a lot of projects left. And my ultimate goal is to get that whip list, whip number down as low as I can possibly get it, because the amount of whips I have right now is a little bit overwhelming, and it is stressful to me just because I feel like I can't stitch on everything. And I want to get things done and put out, and I want to start a whole bunch of other things, and I feel like I can't start a whole bunch of other things until I get this stuff done. So all that to say, I'm thinking about doing a mid-year whip parade. If you're interested in that, please let me know, because if nobody's interested, I'm not going to do it. But I kind of want to do it, so I'm not sure yet. But in the meantime, I started something new. This piece is supposed to be crewel embroidery, but I did some research, and the only thing that makes it crewel embroidery is using a wool yarn floss thing. And I bought all new flosses, so I guess it's just embroidery now. But if you know the difference, maybe you can tell me in the comments. This is a kit, and it is from, I believe, 1975. So it's pretty old in regards to a kit, a stitching kit, and it is in really good condition otherwise. So this pattern was gifted to me in a sense. If you can follow along to this, my mom's cousin, his wife's mother passed away, and she knew my cousin and I did a lot of different stitchings, so she gave us an entire basket full of embroidery and cross stitch projects that her mother hadn't finished or started some, whatever. She gave us an entire basket full, and we split it up amongst us, and whatever we didn't want, we de-kitted and kept all the flosses and fabrics for ourselves. And then there were a whole bunch of crewel embroidery and just embroidery kind of patterns that I thought were really pretty, and I felt bad just like getting rid of them or throwing them out or whatever. So I thought maybe I would try them. But as soon as I saw this pattern, I fell in love. This is exactly what I love to stitch, and I don't stitch nearly enough of these kinds of patterns. And I knew one day I was gonna have the courage to be able to stitch something like this, and I finally decided if I'm never gonna start it if I just keep thinking I'm gonna have the right amount of skills to finally start it, so I just started it. So it is called Winter's Delight. It is by Paragon Needlecraft, and this is what it looks like. Absolutely gorgeous. I love all the little people. I love all the little animals and the tiny little scene. I love tiny little scenes. Who does them? A lot of them. Prairie Schooler. They do a lot of these little scenes that are kind of like this, and I haven't started them, but I really want to start some of them as well. But anyway, this one has been just calling to me, and I had to start it. But the problem with it was like I said, it's from 1975, I believe. Let me check. 1976. And the wool yarn, floss, whatever it came with was, you could tell it was from the 70s, and it was, what, 50 years old or something like that. Like, it was old, it was gross, it smells like it's really old, you know? So I just kind of was like, I don't want to start a project that's going to be like icky for me. I don't like icky, so I didn't want to start it. But I finally was like, I can just buy new flosses. I don't have to stitch with what they gave me. I don't have to do the stitches that they make me do. Like, I can do it however I want. So I'm kind of just doing this project however I want. I bought the flosses. This is my only haul, is these flosses and a couple of ribbons that I didn't even bring. But these are the Pearl Cotton number 5s. So they came in like a hank, and they're not, you don't split them up, but they're like almost braided a little bit. So I'm using those, and then this one is number 8 because they didn't have a number 5 of this one, of a black, and I really needed a black. And I can also use it as back stitching on some spots because some spots do need to be back stitched. But here is, it comes on a printed canvas, not canvas, printed, what is it? It says it on here. It is homespun, and it is huge. It's really big, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and I am so excited to be working on this. It is a little intimidating, so I started down at the bottom with the little birds. I'll show you in a second. And they were a little bit messed up. As I was going, I messed them up a little bit, but I'm learning. I started with something small, and it is just, it's just gorgeous, and I can just imagine it framed and on my wall, and it's just so pretty. This piece makes me so happy. So the first part I did were these little cardinals, and I backstitched them with the black, and then I just added the little brown specks down at the bottom. And then that was the first part I did. Oh, first of all, when I pulled it out, this section here with the cart and the fence and this little guy over here, this was all done, and this little guy here with the tree, the person who had bought this had already stitched all that part, so I did have to take all of that out with my seam ripper. That took a really long time, so it is a little bit worse for wear in these sections, so I'm just kind of leaving them to breathe for a while. But yeah, so, and then I did the blades, I guess, of the sleds here, and I did them in a gray. I don't know if you can see it too well. It's a little bit blurry on my end, but I feel like when I watch the videos back, it's a little bit different. So I did those. They turned out okay. I wasn't entirely happy with them. And then like the brown seat here, that's what I really wasn't happy with. It didn't turn out. I did them longwise, and they did not look the best. So I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm learning. So that's all that matters. But this is my new start. It's gonna take me probably several years to get this done, but it'll be worth it. It'll be so worth it. There was another kit that I got from her that's a similar one to this, but it's summer themed. But that one is like 2 fabrics sewn together that you have to like stitch on separately and then sew them together yourself. That one's even more intimidating. I'm gonna leave that one for a while. So that was my new start. And I haven't worked on it as much, but I don't know if I'm gonna work on it for a while because I'm doing just one for June. But we'll see, you never know. Okay. Now on to a massive pile of whips. See, I'm already at 35 minutes and I'm only on to whips. Okay, I'm gonna start with my just one for June whips. I know the point is to have only one project that you're working on, but this one I started to work on and I was like, I'm just gonna finish this one. It's just not calling to me and it's very disappointing, and I didn't have the right blue at the time, so it's gonna linger for probably a little bit longer. This is Spring Farmhouse by Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. I'm just gonna flash it a little bit. This is a free pattern you can find on her blog. This is a series. So when I showed this in January of all the parts kitted up, I went through them and I thought I had 2 of the same. And it helps if you actually read what they're called. And if you actually look at them a little bit closer, because then I would have noticed that 3 of them are for spring and 3 of them are for summer. They're just the different versions of them. So I do have 6 to do. And then there I have another one shoved in here that's a hen house. That one. It's separating the 2 sets so I don't get them confused. But I really liked these and I want to stitch them, but they're just really not calling to me for some reason. But this is the first one that I'm working on. And this is as far as I got. I added the white in this quilt and then I just added a little bit of the border and then I gave up for the night. I think my hands were hurting and I was sitting outside and I was being attacked by bugs and I was just done. I did not want to work on it anymore. So that one's going to be put away again. One day maybe I'll get them all done. I would like to get them all done one day because they're really cute, but I just don't, they're not calling to me. So I'll try to pull that one back out for just one for June at some point, but I'm not sure when. And then instead of that one, I pulled out Jolly Old St. Nicholas by West Point Designs. These are 17 different Santas, and I am working on the first one. I want to finish these as a stand-up, and I'm working on a traditional Santa. I'm getting close to a finish on this one. I was working up here in his beard, and which turns into his head. That's a lot of white going back and forth, and I was just getting tired of it, and I didn't want to pull it out anymore, so I gave up on the top, and I moved down to his feet. I added his leg over here, and now I'm working on his boots. I just have to fill that boot in and then outline this one and fill this one in as well, and then I can move back up to the head. It's not much more. This will be the project that I'm focusing on next. And I am not adding, he has a sack of toys, a brown sack of toys that sits next to him. I think all of them pretty much have a sack of toys next to him at their feet, but I don't feel like doing that. I was gonna do it on this one, just this one, but I figured there's no point. If I'm gonna not do it on all the rest of them, I'm not gonna do it on this one either. It's just a brown bag pretty much, so I'm not gonna put in that kind of effort on this one. And then all I have left to do is the beard and his face and his hat. And then this one's done. And then I'm not waiting to stitch all the rest. I'm just going to finish him up as I get him done. So this one was also going to be a Santa stand-up. So if I finish this one and it's not too late, I'm going to try to finish this one and the witch that I just finished at the same time because they're both going to be stand-up. So I'm going to wait until I get this one done. Okay. So that's my focus for now, is the Santa. And then the next one isn't a It is a whip, but it's not something I've been working on, but I just wanted to use it to explain. After I finish Santa, and then if I feel like not stitching on the Pinker and Pumpkin farmhouse, I'm gonna pull out this project to try to get this one done. This is, where is it? Oh, I messed them all up. I was looking through them. Okay, this is the Country Cottage Needleworks Music Hall, which is part of Big City Christmas. This one is really ridiculously close to a finish, and I just haven't finished it. That is where I'm at. I really just have the bottom of the building and then the two little dancers at the side, and that's it. I'm not doing the border at the top. And then I was thinking I was originally going to finish these on a styrofoam cube, but I think if I finish these as a stand-up, I think that would also be really cool. So I'm apparently doing a lot of stand-ups lately, but I was laying in bed, I'm like, I'm just not feeling the styrofoam, because then I have to find a whole bunch of styrofoam, and I don't feel like doing that. So I think I'm just gonna do a stand-up, and I think that would look good. Okay, so this one is my next project that I'm gonna work on. And I have all of them. I have all of them, and I'm not going to finish any of them until I finish stitching them all. So this one's going to linger for quite a while. It is the first one that I've done in this series. So, okay. That's a plan as well. Those are most of my plants so far, I think. Yeah, those, I just gave you three of my 4 plants. Okay, now onto regular whips. This was all before, June started. I just didn't show you. So my next words just went out of my head, every single one. My next model stitch is a Halloween piece. Here's a little sneaky peeky. That will be my only Halloween stitch of the year. I did a little fall themed stitch, and then I'm moving on to my next, I have one for Thanksgiving, and then I have one for Christmas, and then I have 2 Christmas pieces. So I'm pretty far ahead, which is very exciting. Those are my model stitches. And then I also pulled out Afternoon Nap by Bucilla, which is a kit that my grandma gave to me for Christmas a couple years ago. Gosh, quite a few years ago, actually. And I actually got a lot done. I don't remember. This was, when did I stitch this? I stitched this for 1 day. Looks like just 1 day on the 16th of May. Which was quite a while ago. Let me take this out of the hoop. Obviously, I thought I would keep stitching on it. This is where I'm at. Which is quite a lot of progress from where I was before. I added some more green in here, and then I added all of that orange and the black of the butterfly. And then I think some of this green in here too. Possibly, maybe up here actually. I added a lot of green and all the orange and the black. So I am moving on this one. I'm actually surprised that I got that far. This one's a little bit hard because there's just a lot of half stitches and back stitches, and the chart is just a disaster of a chart to read. It's so annoying, and I just have to figure it out as I go. So I try not to pull this one out because it just frustrates me way too much. But it's super cute, so I do want to pull it out as often as I can. Okay, so I did work on that one for 1 day. And let me put all this back because this bag is way too small. Okay, the next whip I had, which one I pulled this one out for like 3 or 4 days in a row. So proud of myself. It is in the Just Cross Stitch magazine from Spring 2025. It is the Nature's Journey by Sprouting Lupine. And I'm only working on the spring so far. Trying to get the spring done. And I got pretty far. Let me take this out so you can see the whole thing, because I did get quite far. I really was hoping for a finish on the spring section, but that didn't happen. But look how far I got. Yay! What did I work on? I worked on the... I worked on these two flowers over here. This flower, the bird's nest, this flower, and the butterfly. So I got quite a lot done. I think I finished the snail too. I'm not sure if I had the snail done or not. I got quite a lot. I would say this one's about halfway done now. I moved on to the second page, and this is where I'm at with the whole piece. It's very wrinkly, but it is just one quadrant. And the summer piece is out already, but I justified it by saying, like, it's still spring, so I can still work on the spring. But I'm just gonna be behind on it. It is what it is. It's a really big piece, and it's gonna take a while to stitch it, so it is what it is. But it's so pretty. I love all the colors. I would like to pull this one out again. Try to get some more progress on it. Let me put this back now. I think I gotta tape my magazine back together. The front cover is falling off. Okay. All right. The next project I worked on, very briefly, very briefly, is my cat sampler. This is a project that I'm working on to commemorate all of my barn cats, and I did not even finish one cat. I'm working on Nose Boop. Yeah, I'm working on Nose Boop, and that is as far as I got. So this one's almost not even worth showing. We're moving on. This one probably won't get pulled out in the month of June, because I'm trying to do just one for June. So this one might be coming out. So this one and the next one, after I finish all my little projects that I know can get done pretty quickly, I want to pull out a big project to try to get a big project done. And these two are contenders, these next two. This one is Joyce and a cross stitch called 5 Kittens. It is a stamped cross stitch kit that my cousin gave me. And this is where I'm at. I don't even remember what I was working on when I pulled it out. I think I was adding the cat orange and then some of the black. So I feel like this could be a contender for just one for June, because I just have this cat and all of the black, which is all the yellow, and then back stitching. So it's really not a lot left, and I really do want to get this piece done. It is lingering way too long, and it's probably really quick to get finished. So this one's a really good contender for something that I want to get done. I'm really excited to see what it looks like when I wash it, to get all this printing off of it. And I really want to get this one done. So this one is a good contender. And then the other contender is Enchanted Realms Stitch Along by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I did work on this one quite a lot too. Here is where I'm at. So I did work on it quite a lot. I pulled it out for several days in a row. Last you saw it, I was over here with the fairies, and I started the top section here. So I added a whole bunch of trees, and is this a Pegasus? It has a horn and wings, so I think that's a Pegasus. There you go. And then I almost am done with, oh, I am done. No, I'm almost done. I have 2 little stitches left with the castle. And then the clouds I finished. So there's one more Pegasus over here, and then I'm pretty sure that section is almost done. Oh, and the rainbow. There's a rainbow that connects these 2 clouds together, and there's a sun behind it, and then all that's left is a Pegasus down here. And then that section's already done. Like, how crazy is that? They moved a lot quicker than I thought they would. And then I only have 2 more sections after that one. 2 more sections. I think it's 2. The next section is a warlock. Yeah, 2 more, and then I'm not really sure what they are. Like little golems or something. I don't know. So I'm pretty close, and I would love to get this piece done. I want to frame it into a circle frame, and yeah, it looks so good, and I really want to get this one done. So I'm not sure. So plans. Okay, I'm gonna go into plans now while I hold this. I don't have any haul, by the way. That was supposed to be next. I don't have any haul except for that floss that I bought. Okay, so plans. I'm going to finish my Santa. And then I'm going to finish the Big City Christmas piece. I'm just going to hold this up so you guys can see it while I talk. So you have something to look at. Okay, finish Santa. Finish Big City Christmas, because that will not take long at all. Santa is first. And then possibly the Pinker and Pumpkin farmhouse. Possibly, but also probably not. I feel like that one's I have to like give a lot more attention to for some reason, even though it'd probably be a quick finish, I mean. And then I'm going to either move on to this one or afternoon cross stitch. So I want to see if I can put up a vote for you guys. Just comment down below. Which one would you prefer? I'm just going to put this out here. I am not going to listen to whatever voted, whoever is voted the most. But I want to see what you guys would think. I stitch purely off of vibes. And if the vibes aren't there, I'm not stitching it. So, would you rather me stitch this piece, which is, let's say, Enchanted Realms? Would you rather me work on this finish or 5 Kittens? Which one would you guys prefer me finish? Because I can't tell until the vibes are there, and the vibes aren't there yet. But I'm very curious. Got 2 finishes before that, then I'll get to them. Okay. And then, of course, I want to start the 4th of July round. So those are my plans. Let's see if I can stick to them. Oh, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just remembered I had another whip. And I haven't worked on it in a little while, so I forgot that it was even a whip. I worked on all of these little pieces when I was at work. I started, this was my 2nd week, and then I didn't work Memorial Day week because there was not enough time and nobody was going to be around. So the very first week I did training the whole first day, which is just sitting at a computer and watching videos. And then I didn't really have enough work to do for the day, so I was able to sit and stitch for a while, and I got quite a lot done. So I kitted up a whole bunch of these free patterns from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. There are all 4th of July themed pieces. The only ones I have left to do are America and this one that says Justice for All. I finished 3 of them. I finished Old Glory. They're all on this 14 count Aida that's like the plasticky Aida that I got, but you can't really tell too much. So we got Old Glory. And we have Liberty and Freedom. They were super quick stitches, and I'm so glad that I was able to get them done. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time at work now to stitch the other 2, so I might end up stitching these otherwise, like at a different time. I'm not sure yet. So I would like to get them done before 4th of July. That's what's kind of like pushing me now. Otherwise, if it wasn't 4th of July themed, I probably would just be like, it can sit and not be stitched for quite a while, and I can stitch it whenever I have time at work. But yeah, it's been quite busy for a little while, so I forgot about those. Okay. They were in my work bag, so I forgot that they were even a thing, and I didn't write them down on my calendar for some reason. Okay, yeah. life updates. Pretty much that's about it. I've been working. I have to drive 2 hours away to stay with my dad and my stepmom, and I work a couple days a week. It has been going pretty good, and I'm really happy about it. It has been getting hot, so we're hoping that the air conditioner gets turned on in the building very soon. We went for walks. It's at a state park, so we went walking around the state park to kind of check on things. But yeah, I've been working. It has been hot. My garden has been struggling a little bit. We have a whole bunch of chipmunks that keep taking all of my seeds before they can even sprout anything. They've been mowing down my zucchini plants, mowing down my cucumber plants. About the only thing that is growing right now are my tomato plants and my sunflowers. My eggplants are struggling really badly. A deer came by, ate all my sweet peas and my nasturtiums. That was wonderful. That was a nice thing to come home to and see. My tomato plants in some pots are struggling a little bit, so I'm kind of moving them around. Planted a whole bunch of seeds of stuff that I had left over. None of my corn came up. None of those seeds came up. My snap peas are barely sprouting. They're not really doing much. So garden is struggling except for my tomatoes. They are going crazy. I think I'm only gonna have tomatoes this year, so that's fun. I've got a lot of volunteer tomato plants that have come up in the garden. I've got them. Oh, I have some broccoli too. Broccoli's doing good. So I'm gonna have broccoli, tomatoes, and sunflowers this year. That's about it. Yeah, so garden is struggling. I have to go out and fix a couple things this weekend. It is started getting hot. Like I said, it's about 85 degrees out today. Super muggy, and there's not much wind. So it has been nice. I'm at about an hour now, so I think I'm gonna head out now. I'm gonna turn the fans back on so I'm not roasting anymore. I'm gonna upload my lightning bugs pattern, so make sure you check that out. It is linked down below. You have the advantage of it already being there. I have to go put it there now. Check out my freedom pattern. That's also free on my blog. And check out my Etsy for some new patterns if you're interested. Thank you all so much for all of your support. I really do appreciate it. Every time my phone goes off with a new order, it gives me a smile and it makes me so happy for the day. So thank you all so much for your support. I'm gonna film some videos of my backgrounds and I hope you all enjoy. So I will see you in who knows how long, maybe a couple weeks, maybe a month or two, I'm not sure, but I will be back. Let me know also if you guys want a mid-year whip parade. That also won't be for a couple weeks, but oh, maybe I'll film it this weekend. Maybe I won't even wait for you guys to tell me if you want it or not. Maybe I'll just go and do it myself. Okay, bye all. I'll see you later.